My name is Herbert Wigwe. I'm the Group CEO for Access Corporation. So today we bank about 60 million Africans. 60 million is a large number. To put it in context, it's about the same size as Citibank in terms of the number of customers. We are present in about 17 countries. We do have, today our balance sheet is north of getting close to $35 billion and growing. The real problem is in Africa, you have soft currency countries, so depreciation affects it, but we are determined that our presence in the OECD countries will provide a major buffer and make us one of the top 5 banks in the continent over the next 5 years. So that's where we're headed. So I was born in Nigeria. I was born in Lagos. My parents are from the southernmost part of Nigeria, which is a place called Port Harcourt. I had the privilege of going to school in the most northern part of the country, a place called Federal Government College Sokoto, which is, once you go past that, you're in the Sahel. And so I'm very familiar with my country. My parents were public servants. My dad worked in the Nigerian Television Authority, which also gave me significant scope to travel across Nigeria and all of that. I'm a chartered accountant. I have a postgraduate degree in economics and finance. I have a degree in law now. So, that's it from as far as education is concerned. Fundamentally, my roots of my initial study and all of that are well rooted in Nigeria.
I'm so proud of working with such a great team. And because of the team and how great they are, we continue to do exciting things. So we set out 20 years ago to create another oasis of sanity in the banking industry. But today, as proud Africans, we are determined to prove the world that we can build a world-class institution in practice, in scope, in depth, and in breadth. It's everybody's legacy here today. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you.
About 21 years ago, my partner and I, having had a very successful career in a previous bank, which was a good bank, we decided to come together to create another institution that would represent sanity as far as banking is concerned. And as we grew, we then realized that there was a much more fundamental problem in our continent. Nigeria was growing, the bank was growing, but we realized that except we took this whole message across the continent to create a bigger, better, stronger Africa, we would always be constrained. And so we decided to pursue that growth across the continent. If we go back in time, our forefathers were perhaps a lot more progressive than we were to make sure that we had one monetary zone across the continent. But subsequent regimes have not followed it. But in fairness, what we've seen now is that with Africa, more and more of our political leadership are determined to make sure that we all start working together. One big, strong Africa, where trade happens seamlessly across borders, far-fetched as it may be, will lead to bigger, stronger institutions within the continent. What we need, I will keep emphasizing, is strong political leadership, all right, that is determined to make sure that the continent is on the right path. This is a very important part of my life. We have always been sustainability inclined. Before we started our foundation, Access Bank was busy supporting other people, underserved people. So I give you, for instance, in the northern part of the country, we picked underserved children who were just roaming the streets, created schools for them. Today we have 14,000 children who are basically parentless orphans that we're sending to school, and we build schools for them. I think it's a general philosophy. I think my perspective might sound cliche, but I think first of all, you must put your full trust and providence in God. That's the starting point. People say, look, it's neither here nor there, but that's fine. But that's my belief. And the second is that anything you do, if you do it well, you will do well. It doesn't matter what you do. So if you're in journalism, if you're in the creative sector, if you put your mind to it, if you do it well, you will do well. But I think the final point is to understand that we owe it to ourselves as Africans to support and develop our own continent, rather than continue to look outward for help. I think that you can find that help in the continent. I think it's extremely difficult to define, but there will be a couple of things that will show we've been successful. When we have a continent and the GDP of the different continents rival what we have in the world in the West, when we have Africans not seeking to run out of Africa, but stay back to develop our continent, where we have a financial services sector that is capable of supporting large African enterprises, and we don't need to look to the West for support, that is success to me. So if I were to describe myself, I'll say God-fearing, I'll say proudly African, I'll say passionate about the continent, and playful. I'm just about having a good time in life.